traveling today. Where are you anyway?
I'm in Albany.
Oh, joy. Is it cold up there?
New York's capital. I'm in capital of Albany. No, it's warm.
Oh, good.
It's warm.
This is
It's actually warm up here. It's like 80. It was like 87 degrees up here.
really.
Yeah.
There he goes. Oh yeah, I see. So folks, I seem to be having some lag issues. I'm not sure whether that's I don't know whether it's from my computer or if it's my network connection. I've been having some issues. This started last week. So yeah, Neil is sitting there laughing at me and I'm freezing. I'm sort of freeze framing left and right. So if I disappear, I will come back. I'm not sure what is causing that. I've rebooted my computer and I think maybe I need a new antenna. I've
I don't know.
rebooted.
Maybe a new router. Who knows?
Hope not. The router seems I rebooted the router or I rebooted the modem. So anyway, who's here? Who is here?
Yeah, please join in and say hi. You know, we were having some lively discussions off camera before we got on about some different things. So, you know, feel free to ask us questions and we'd love to hear what topics you want to hear about. I know that there are some things going on in town that maybe some people have some questions on that hopefully we can answer or maybe get answers on. You know, as well as, you know, there's national stuff happening, you know. So, you know, happy to speak on all of that and try to give you up-to-date information as we can. One of the things that Denise mentioned off screen or off camera was that Orban lost in Hungary. And apparently, you know, those on the left are celebrating. You know, I'm being more cautious, but I understand that they're celebrating. So we'll see. Hopefully, it'll get better over there.
I think well they won the Magar, I think his name is Magar, won with that. Last I checked, anywhere from 78 to 80% of the vote. So it was too big to rig, which is a good thing, because we knew there was Orban was like working with Putin to find ways to, you know, rig things, and then of course we had JD Vance was there. There was a rumor going around on social media that they voted Orban out to piss off JD Vance because they didn't like him. I don't think that's the case. But
does anybody like him?
No, not really.
Let's get real. Does anybody like him? You know,
no,
he's like he looks. You know, he's kind of like that weird uncle that nobody wants to invite over during the holidays. You know, like that. That's who he reminds everybody of.
Oh my God! Yes. So I'm sort of watching myself here, and it's really funny how I'm just sort of lagging along here. But is my voice on time, or am I lagging? So okay.
We can hear you. You're good.
Okay. So as long as all right. So just watch me bounce back and forth. I don't really understand what is happening, or why that's happening, but. Yeah, I'm looking at the stream. So since I'm sort of on the producer end and I run the stream, I can watch the upload rate, and the upload rate has just dropped. I might have to make a call to Spectrum. Maybe they did that. Yeah, because I got rid of TV. I don't have Spectrum phone. All I got is internet. So
you may want to check your speed too, your internet speed, because sometimes they give you the slow speed. And you have to upgrade for the faster speed.
I have the 1 gig, but it's the upload rate that they can fuck with. So you can go where you know, and so my upload rate they probably are bottlenecking me, those Spectrum bastards. I'll get them. So
well, this is what happens when you have a monopoly. I mean, this is what monopolies. You know, we've talked about monopolies before. We've talked about businesses. This idea of companies merging, you know, like you get sold on this idea. Like oh well, you'll get better service and cheaper rates. But I don't know anybody else, but every time the government deregulates a utility, like either the electricity or um internet, we get the same thing. You get you get poor service, you get the slower speeds,
Oh yeah,
and it costs more. So where is the savings? Because they take on so much debt. You're paying off their debt. it, it,
yeah,
it it's mind-boggling that the government continues to sell the same bullshit to the same people over and over again, and all you have are buyers, right? Like, oh yeah, because you keep seeing rates go up, 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 and you're like, oh, let that merger go through. I want my cheaper rates, and then rates, what do? They just keep going up.
well, you
Like,
have to
like
because it costs billions of dollars to do those mergers. People forget that.
it's what's the definition of insanity, right? It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. These are the results that you're getting, right? These aren't the immigrants' fault. It's not the Democrats' fault. Okay, this is what's happening because of the money, the billionaires' fault. This is what they want.
Yes.
This is not a left right issue. This is a top bottom issue. And what I'm trying to convince people of is that they have to understand that it is a top bottom issue, not a left right issue, right? People hear about me go after the left, they hear Denise go after the right, and they think we're one side or the other. But the fact is we are probably more middle of the road and mainstream, right?
Yes.
Than anything you see on TV and any of these politicians tell you, right? Because they
Yes.
all want you to believe what they are selling.
Yes. And to that point, I got a couple of stories I can share with you, some current events that aren't really going around. Um, some of you might have heard about the fire at the paper plant last week. So,
The
a
warehouse, yes.
yeah, at a warehouse in I think in
California.
Ontario, California. So it got people were thinking it was Canada. No, it's California, and he was going around and posted on social media videos of himself, of his hand lighting various things in the warehouse on fire, and saying, "All you had to do was give us a fucking livable wage." That's what he kept going around saying over and over. All we wanted was a fucking livable wage. So that rage is here, but it's about to get worse. I heard a story today. I don't know how many of you follow Park Rose Permaculture. Her name is Angela. She's from Portland, Oregon, and she found a story on local news about their local Amazon plant. It's about 15 minutes from where she lives. So a man, one of the employees in the warehouse, we don't really know. She didn't really have the information. Collapsed on the floor. I don't know whether he tripped and fell or something fell on him, or he collapsed from exhaustion or whatever. He was bleeding from the head, and people wanted to go over and help him, and the management was like, just leave him there and keep working. Keep working. And a woman saw that it looked like he wasn't breathing. Her name was Sam. She tried to go over to administer CPR. And again, she was told, leave him alone and just get back to work. And that just falls right in line with some of if you look back at some of our videos, we had a video called Profits Over People. And we've had a number of videos where we talk about this. And this just it just epitomizes everything that we've been talking about, where management is telling you, leave a body on the ground. The guy was dead. He died. I think it took like a half an hour for emergency services to get there. And so this poor man, he was 46 years old, died on the floor, bleeding from the head, and everyone else was told to just go back to work. Just disregard the situation. Don't try to help the guy. What do you think about that?
I thought you were going to go a different direction with that, because something that's not being reported is that there the warehouses, people have been setting warehouses on fire all across the United States. Today was the eighth fire. All right.
Oh, that's news to me. I did
Right.
not know that.
I thought that that's where you were going. Right. So today there was a fire in Miami at a Miami warehouse. There were 7 other fires before that, including the one in California and Ontario. Right. So and the media is trying to basically keep it silent because they're all connected. Right. Pay us a livable wage and we won't burn down your shit. And that's the message that these people are trying to send, and and it's not getting reported anywhere because the media and the billionaires don't want anything like that reported. But also another thing that occurred was in Oklahoma. I think it was Oklahoma. They were having the tornado alarm was sounding, right? So the air sirens were going off because somebody spotted a tornado right outside of town forming. Okay, so they set off the alarm, right? They kicked all. There was an Amazon warehouse. They kicked all the Amazon workers out of the warehouse. They put them on the street.
Put them on the street. Well, see, and this, by the way, like I said, this was an Amazon warehouse. Somebody's dead on the ground.
Yeah,
Just go back to work and ignore it.
a number of
And
these are Amazon warehouses.
yeah, and it was, and I remember it being reported during COVID that it was a shitty job, that they were really
Yeah.
mistreating employees, and you know, and now don't forget I think he said he's going to eliminate some 600,000 jobs. So when you're treated like that, when you're treated like you're completely expendable, you're not getting paid a decent wage. Everything that this food costs are through the roof, fuel costs are through the roof. You can't get affordable housing. You can't get a decent paying job. You can't get a livable wage. You know what? Finally, a riot becomes the cry of the unheard. You see people lashing out. That's kind of what's happening. I'm not saying I advocate it or don't advocate it. I'm just sort of I'm
So
stating the obvious.
the interesting part is you hear our politicians continuously say that violence isn't the answer, right? The famous line, violence isn't the answer, right? Um, but they never finish the quote. Do you know what the end of that quote is?
No.
Violence isn't the answer until it's the only answer.
And that makes a lot of sense.
All right. So right, like the idea being don't make it the only fucking answer. Right? I mean, I don't this is what I don't get about MAGA, right? They vilify the progressives in this country. But what are the progressives advocating for? Right? Like, I mean, start asking like have you ever listened to one? Right? Like, I mean, that's sort of the first question. What are they advocating for? They're advocating for a living wage, right? They're advocating for health care, universal health care, right? They're advocating for social programs and mental health, okay, services. Okay, what I mean, like they're advocating for women's care, women's health care.
Yes.
Okay? I mean, I I personally, right, like I don't understand. Like it used to be I grew up in a time with so I was born during the Nixon era and I was brought up during Reagan. I watched Mondale, I watched Geraldine Ferraro, and I would love to have the
I
opportunity to
remember that.
discuss Geraldine Ferraro because that woman was absolutely freaking amazing. She was absolutely amazing. And I know we sort of, it's not Women's Month anymore, in March, which was in March, but, that woman was freaking amazing. And, during that time, what were we talking about? We were talking about, you know, um, education. We were talking about women's rights. We were talking about social programs, mental health. We were actually just starting to have that conversation around mental health and mental health services, right? How is this communism?
Yeah.
How is this communism? Like, I
Well,
want to know, how is this communism in any way?
it's not, but this is how they have programmed their followers into believing that doing all those things, supporting your communities, supporting your neighbors is going to cost them money because they think they're going to be, I don't want to pay for these people. And yet right now you're paying for billionaires. Now, if Trump actually gets this $1.5 trillion budget, they're going to wipe a shitload of stuff away, including getting rid of Medicare, Medicaid. I mean, that's what it's calling for, is massive, massive cuts. So your taxes don't change, but now your money goes to the military-industrial complex, and for billion, multi-billion, soon-to-be trillion-dollar defense contractors, all for the benefit on because of the benefit of your tax dollars, fighting all the wars that piece of shit promised he was going to end.
It's just it's too mind-boggling at this point in time to understand the amount of money being siphoned, right, by the billionaire class,
Oh, hell yeah.
right, out of the public sector. And it's happening not only, nationwide and national level, it's happening in the states too. Okay. And your local governments are starving as a result of it, right? Your taxes keep going up because of the greed at the state level and at the federal level. Okay. The unbridled greed of these contracts that they hand out for very little in return.
Yeah.
Okay. All at your expense. And then after they use your tax dollars to pay for it, they want you to pay for it again and again and again and again until you are just bled dry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So I'm not really understanding where people are saying, right, that the left is communist or socialist or whatever you want to label them, how that is bad, how any of those things are bad. Okay, that's what I would love to know. I would love to know, just pick a program and tell me why it's so bad. I've told people a million times the United States spends more on healthcare than every other country in the world. Okay, we have the most expensive healthcare in the world. Okay, with the amount of money that comes out of your pocket is ridiculous. And right now, right, if we had single payer healthcare, every American would get a raise,
Yeah.
would immediately get a raise. Right,
Sure. Your
you would
premium
have
comes
more.
right out of the salary.
Right, so in other words, if you don't have to pay, if your employer doesn't have to pay for that, right, that's more money that could be put in your pocket. Okay, so this is what I don't understand. This is what I don't understand is this idea, like, no, 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 no. I want to pay shitload of money, get no services for that money, right? Because I have an ideology, right,
Yes.
that needs to hold true. Okay?
Right.
Your
Needs
ideology
validation.
is right, your ideology is full of shit. I'm
Yes.
sorry, it's just full of shit. Okay, right? Like, think of it this way, right? You are with a private insurance carrier. 30 cents of every dollar you give your private insurance carrier or your company gives your private insurance carrier goes right to profit.
Yes.
Right to profit. Another 15 cents goes to administrative costs. Okay? So that means 45 cents of every dollar, okay, goes right into their pockets. Okay. So that means that you only have 55 cents of every dollar that you give them, right? That you get that your insurance carrier gets, right? Actually goes to your health care,
It's
right?
probably less
Which
than that. Don't forget
which
legal costs. They,
that's administrative. I'm putting that in the administrative bucket, right?
okay.
And and I'm gonna say, and now you got the 55 cents, and I don't know, it's probably less, but I'm giving the benefit of the doubt here, right? 55 cents that goes to your healthcare, which they can deny at any point in time. Remember that. These are your death panels. Okay. They can deny you at any time you want. Okay. Rather than you having a single payer healthcare system, right? Which Medicare, if you look at Medicare, has a 5% administrative cost and no profit. So 95 cents of every dollar goes to healthcare costs. Okay? Think about that, right? You are willing to pay 45 cents for something that you could get for 5 cents.
Wow.
You people are really smart. You people are really, really fucking smart.
Yeah. And so this is again, this is where we're at. This is why we need change. And this is why I'm happy about what happened in Hungary, because perhaps if we get out there, we can make it too big to rig here, and we can take some power back in the House, and hopefully sort of derail this steamrolling train that's heading into a brick wall here for this country. You
It's
don't look
assuming that there's an
optimistic.
assuming that there's an opposition party, right, that will actually do something.
Right. And you know what? We just did a video. I don't know if you guys saw it. Just came out Sunday night, Monday morning, regarding. Thought it was a cute title. Red. What is it? Red, blue, and losing you. And was talking about. We were talking about how more and more people are leaving both parties and moving either to independent or just unaffiliated altogether. And this is kind of where Neil is going, because it seems, and let's face it, Democrats are polling low with Democrats because they feel that, Democrats are not fighting hard enough, that they seem to be caving on a lot of issues. And, and this has created some conflict within, conversations amongst Democrats about, well, we gotta be supportive of all the, of the Democrat candidates. And yes, you can be, but there is absolutely nothing wrong with being critical of those candidates or of the people that are in there representing right now. It's up to us as members of the party to be critical of our elected leaders and what they're doing, and not just sort of, okay, we got them in there and then go home and forget what happens. Because we see, when we're not looking, we see them caving to pressure from the other side.
I think what's happened in the past is Democrats have gone out and they've said, "Don't be critical of me. It's me or the other guy," and they make you afraid of the other guy. Okay, so much so, okay, that you give them a free pass when they get in, and then when they get in, they immediately move to their right. Okay, and it's like, well, he could be worse because he could be the other guy, right? And
Oh,
at this point in time, right, like we're beyond that now. The pendulum has gone so far to the right. We are so far beyond that discussion. My feeling is if a Democrat wants my vote, they have to act like a Democrat. Okay, and they gotta start saying the things that actually mean something to me, that will actually make a difference, not the incremental bullshit. And Mamdani had that right. For his first
yes.
100 days, he's already proven for his first 100 days that the pendulum can be moved. Okay, we've been told for many years, and we've been sold the bill of goods that the pendulum can't be moved, and that we have to be happy with incremental change. No more. All right, no more. Trump and Mamdani have both shown us no more. We don't have to settle. Right, that we can ask for big things. And no offense to Hochul here in New York, we should absolutely be pushing her. Right.
Yeah.
Listen, Blankman sucks, and she may be inevitable, but at the same token, I'm not willing to give her a free pass, and I don't think any Democrat should give her a free pass. I think that she should be held accountable. I think she's doing a budget right now. Let's see what she's got.
Yeah. I agree. And I think I, I don't know. Maybe you know the answer to this question. I mean, from what I understand, she does not support the idea of raising taxes on the wealthiest, like having a wealth tax.
No, she does not believe in raising taxes on the wealthy in the state.
And that's because she's a corporate Dem. She's backed by big money.
Well, listen, we could talk about Hochul. We could talk about Hochul, but I want to talk about the speaker in the city. Okay, the speaker in the city is a fucking trip. Okay, the speaker of the city council in New York City is a freaking trip, right? This woman is a multi-billionaire. Okay, she's
Oh, I think I know
hidden
who you're
her.
talking about.
She's hidden her billion. She has been stomping Mamdani every chance she gets, right, regarding his priorities and the priorities of the Democratic Party, okay, or at least the way he sees them. And she's been pushing back left and right. And the article I saw today is that she was encouraging the teachers union, right, to
Yeah.
protest Mamdani's press conference of his first 100 days, saying that they deserve a raise. Wow. Okay. She in the city council is cutting, right? Teachers, she's cutting social programs, she's cutting everything in order to be able to not have to raise taxes on the wealthy in the city. Right? In order for her to not be personally impacted, they're going to cut and gut she wants to cut and gut everything, okay, and then turns around to say to people who are struggling in the city, teachers, right, she wants to
Yes.
turn around and say to them, oh, you know what, you should protest Mamdani wants to give you a raise. He wants to do those things. She's the one preventing it. You want to protest somebody, protest her.
Right. Hang on. I think Julie.
Oh, I think we lost some people.
No, they've been coming in and out. I don't know whether there's some lag in the stream here. By the way, folks, for the first time, I connected us to both X and to Twitch. So, but I didn't make any announcements there, so I don't know if anybody knows that we're live. But I wanted to see how that would work. That could also, I don't know if that.
I don't think anybody knows we're live because nobody's watching.
I did post. I think what we need is we need to have. Oh, by the way, her name is Julie Menin.
Yes, I saw that. Thank you for that.
There. So that's who it is. But yeah, so figure we try that out. I don't know if our buddy Don Kilcoyne is out there. I did try to reach out to see if he wanted to join us here today, but he's challenged you to a debate. So you down with that?
I'm down with a debate with Mr. Kilcoyne, Citizen Kilcoyne. Absolutely. Listen, I've said in the right from the very beginning, anybody who wants to come on is more than welcome to come on. All right. Anybody who wants to come to us and have us moderate a debate, that'd be fine. Anybody who wants to come to debate me, that's perfectly fine. We can set up some quick and dirty rules. We can put together some topics for us to debate about and discuss, and go from there. I'm down. Like, let's do it.
I'll let Don know. We love Don. Yeah.
We do. I love Don. I think Don's great. Don does a great job in Warwick. I think he's absolutely fantastic in a lot of the things that he does. I think we're closer to being on the same page, but I think like some other social media people out there, people don't necessarily like sometimes the way I say things. Okay.
Well, yeah, bluntness. Yeah, Neil is extra blunt.
Listen, I no longer have the patience, right, to have to bring people along slowly. Sometimes you just got to hit them over the head with a mallet.
Okay. All right, and with that, let's move right along and see what else is going on here. Well, here's the topic we were. I don't know if you want to bring that up. What we were talking about before we connected was this whole Eric Swalwell thing.
I don't know enough about it. That's why I can't talk about something I just don't know about. But we were also talking about Hassan Piker, and if you want to talk about him, we can have that discussion.
I just wanted to point out how he's being attacked for his views, which are being described as being leftist.
Hassan Piker, not Swalwell, by the way, we're talking about. Just so
Yeah,
everybody is aware.
yeah, yeah. Hassan Piker. Yeah, Hassan Piker is a Twitch streamer. He's got a pretty
Yeah.
big platform. He's someone who is he's one of those streamers. Think of someone like Dean Withers, who just connects and is on for hours, and he talks
Yeah.
for hours. So he's sort of the left's version of like Candace Owens, or
He
you know.
he got his start on the Young Turks. I believe he's related to Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks, which is also a left, program with Anna Kasparian. So
I
he
think he's
does
his
what he
son.
does.
I think he might
I
be
don't
Jack's
remember.
son.
I don't know if he's Jang Sung or whether he's. I don't remember how he's related. To be
But
honest.
there's been just a whole lot of attacks. Particularly, I think Alyssa Slotkin had something to say, and it's look, it's important if you want to be a big tent party. You need to embrace these people, and this is not. We've said this before. The idea of universal health care, the idea of a living wage, affordable housing. That is not lefty. That is the mainstream. That's
Right.
what we all want. I think there are plenty of Republicans out there that would not want their Social Security taken away or their Medicare dropped.
What I don't understand I don't understand the litmus test. Okay, right? Like, I mean, nobody goes up to somebody, some conservative politician and says, "What are your thoughts on Neil Cavuto? What are your thoughts on Sean Hannity? What are your thoughts on uh
Tim
whatever
Pool.
or any of those right wing guys. I mean, Alex Jones, or Joe Rogan. I mean, like, what? I don't understand the litmus test, right? Ha- You know, listen, Hassan Piker, he's a good media guy, right? And he gives his opinion, and that's it, right? Like, that's all we do. All of us are giving political opinion. You could like it, you could not like it. It's entirely individual. The guy has 3 million followers. You
Yeah.
know, like I'm sorry if you don't like the guy, then just but don't just say you don't like the guy if you never heard him or you don't know what he stands for. You don't. I mean, Cory Booker came out and was like, "Oh, I don't like the guy. He's like way too far left." And then during an interview, he admitted that he knew that he never heard the guy. He didn't even know who he was. He didn't know what he stood for, and that he was just told to say that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What is everybody doing? All right. There is no litmus test here. We don't take people who are on Twitter, a Twitter guy, one of these people who do social media stuff, right? And turn around and say, "Wow, you associate with that guy." Like, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? If he has a platform and people like his platform and they like what he has to say, and politicians want to go on there and talk with them and debate with them about what their views are, great. More power to them. We should all be having these debates. We should all get tough questions. You know, like, it
Yeah.
really freaking annoys me that these politicians go on Fox News, right? And Fox News, all they want to, all the news outlets, NBC, ABC, all of them, all they do is push right wing talking points. You don't get a
Well,
real question out of any of these people. You know,
no,
the first
they're all
question you
softball
get,
questions.
right, and the first question you get is about trans athletes, right? As we said, right, they spent $2 million on ads in Maine, right, all on trans athletes, right? They have
Two.
two, right? That's it in the entire fucking state, two. Okay. And yet they've turned this into the only issue in Maine that anybody is allowed to care about and talk about. Okay.
Instead of the issues that really matter.
And I'm telling you right now, 99% of all Americans don't give a shit. Really just don't care. It doesn't impact their daily lives. Okay.
Well, it's interesting. We've been seeing all over social media in the place. What is it? DoorDash grandma. I think
Right.
her name is Sharon Simmons. Um, just a little note about Sharon Simmons, the DoorDash grandma. She's actually from Arkansas. So they flew her in to do that. That was a publicity stunt. But I thought it was interesting. She's appeared on Trump's behalf in other things too. She showed up as a quote unquote resident of Nevada to come out in support of the BBB back in the summertime. So she's not the $22,000. I don't buy that story. She's on the payroll. But I thought it was very interesting that while she was handing over, she handed over the McDonald's to do the whole photo op. He asks her what her opinion is of trans athletes, and even she didn't give a shit. She's like, I don't have an opinion on that. And she's a MAGA person. So not even MAGA cares that much. Again,
Listen, we have a constitution. The Constitution provides for equal rights to all Americans and to all people on our soil. Okay? Right? Nobody's asking for special treatment. It's just equal treatment. End of story. Okay? Like I'm so sick of the billionaires, and this is what it is. It's the billionaire class trying to then blame the 1%, right? The other 1%, right? For the problems that they are creating. Okay? These aren't issues. Okay? They just don't want you to look up at them. While they're peeing on you, they don't want you to look up at them. Okay?
That's exactly
Right?
right.
The fact is your problem is up there. Your problem is with the billionaires.
There you go. Let's see. What else can we talk
Just
about?
stop believing their bullshit. And and as it relates to, getting back to what we were talking about, listen, you know, if you like what Hassan Piker has to say, great. If you don't like what he has to say, don't listen to him. That's
Right,
America.
but don't attack him for the way they're attacking him and just sort of singling him out. And it's the kind of stuff that they're doing to other progressive Democrats. They're doing that. Look at how they're treating Graham Plattner. Right, he's getting attacked.
But it's what they do. It's the billionaire class defining these people, okay, and then
Othering them.
painting, right, making the extreme. And listen, I don't think Hassan Piker is really that extreme, but they want to paint him as extreme, and then they want to paint anybody who talks about the things that he talks about with the same brush as him.
Right.
Okay, right? Like somebody brought, I only heard about Hassan Piker maybe like 2 weeks ago. All right.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know who this guy was. Okay. Shame on me. But somebody like on social media, like says, oh, you must be a Hassan Piker fan. I didn't even know who the guy was.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I don't think
All
anybody
right.
really knew except for his fan base.
And I'm going to tell you who I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of Naomi Klein. Naomi Klein is an award-winning economist, right, from Canada, right, who wrote many books. Okay, she wrote The Shock Doctrine. She wrote No Logo,
Yes.
right? She wrote Double Gang. Like there are so many books that she wrote. Okay, go read one of them, right? Maybe you can learn something. Okay, these economic books, okay, are really worth the read. It's really worth understanding how your money is being spent and what it's being spent on.
Yes. Yes.
You're
All right.
angry at
So,
the wrong 1%.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. That's the whole point of othering, right? Right. Look, distraction, misdirection. Don't look at us picking your pocket and absolutely bleeding the treasury right in front of your face. Don't look that way. It's the trans fault. It's trans
Right.
for everybody. I don't even know what the fuck that means. They want trans for everyone. What the fuck does that mean? Nobody can define that. So, but I want to move on to something I know you wanted to talk about, uh, which
Did I?
is, yeah, you brought up that before we connected, you wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on with the with how they're attacking the Pope, which I think is outrageous.
Oh,
But it all kind
well,
of it started here. And it was deleted. It was Trump sort of went on a
I
you know
know.
he goes on a crazy rant, and he was just posting, and one of the first things he posted was this lovely image here. Look at this. What the hell is going on here? I mean, okay. First of all, the guy in the bed, uh, is it me or does that look like Epstein? That looks a hell of a
Yeah,
lot
he's
like
bringing
Epstein.
he's bringing he's bringing Epstein back to life so he can rape and murder more children. Come on,
Come
I
on.
thought that was pretty obvious.
We've
You
got
know.
we've got the eagle. We've got, I don't know, what is that? A freaking gargoyle up there at the top with this. I mean, this AI slop is crazy, but it's just interesting. Well, we don't need to keep looking at that, so let's just stop that. But um, it was interesting when this was posted. Um, MAGA went crazy. There was a lot of negative posts for MAGA. This was sort of like a bridge too far. Apparently, the graping and PDFing of little children and murdering, or basically little children. That wasn't a bridge too far for them. Pre- Presenting yourself as Jesus Christ, that was it. That was it for them. So there's a lot of people that are breaking foot. Look, whatever it takes. But you would have thought the whole Epstein thing would have been the thing that started fracturing with them, which for some it has. But this had a real negative effect, and this just comes a week after on Easter Sunday he put that horrible threat out there, claiming he was gonna, you fucking bastards or whatever. That was praise be to Allah. So he's parting with the evangelicals now. I mean, he's managed to alienate everybody, right? The Latinos, the Gen Zs. He's, women. A lot of women are now speaking out because the misogyny is on steroids within the party. So they're starting to pull away. Who the fuck does he have left? He's got, like, I don't know, the boomers, aging boomers, and what's left of the silent generation. That's like before boomers, really old people. What do you think? What do you think? He's like hemorrhaging support, and he's still there.
You know, they co-opted religion,
Yes.
right? They co-opted religion for political means. And now what we're seeing is religious people who are actually religious, right? Not the fake religious, but the real religious people, right? Who spent their lives devoted to the clergy and knowing what the Bible says and all that kind of stuff, right? Um, are pushing back. They're claiming now that that the uh that that all of a sudden those religious people are becoming political, okay, right? Like, this is the argument, okay, and the issue is if you politicize everything, which is what this administration has done, then everything is political, okay. And this isn't an idea of you can't talk about shit. uh, if you've made everything political, then what you're saying is you can't talk about anything, right?
Yeah.
Which then stifles free speech. It stifles who we are as Americans. And I'm sorry, right? The Pope is an American, and he's allowed to say what he wants. And not for nothing, right? The morality, right? You have morality of a guy who raped and murdered little children.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy has there is no morality here in this administration. There absolutely is none. They have no moral authority over anything. And anybody who says they do, right? I have to question their morals. I have to question their morals. And it's really, not for nothing, right? A lot of the people in my community who I see like standing up for this, right? I have to question their morality,
Yeah.
right? Because if you believe that raping and murdering little children, if you believe that separating families, that putting people in concentration camps in inhumane conditions and treating people immorally and starting illegal wars and genocide, right, is your cup of tea, is what you believe is not a line that's too far to cross, right? Like that's still out there, right? Then again, we don't have a political difference,
We have
right?
an
We are not
ideological
arguing
difference.
politics. We have a moral difference.
Yes.
Our differences are morals, and my morals are different than yours. Okay.
Yeah.
I never say anybody's morals are better than anybody else's, but I'm going to say my morals are different than yours, and we're not arguing the same thing.
Right. Right. Hmm. Well, what do we? My
What
God.
are we competing against on TV? Because I'm like wondering where everybody is. But we must be competing.
Well, you
People
know
will
what?
watch us
So
later, though. People will watch us later, though. So we have to
yeah,
keep
and
it
I
rolling.
might have to and what I'll do after instead of letting the live stream sit there, I will edit and clean up and post it as a separate video because the the lag that's happening and it seems to have cleared up now. We seem to be
Yes.
rolling with the upload.
Yes.
I complained to Riverside. I said, "What the hell are you doing to me here?" So maybe it was on their end that we were getting suppressed somehow. Um, just weren't
Well,
getting.
you know what? A number of data centers went down. I don't know what data center they have us rolling through. You know.
That's really. Oh, I did not know that. Could
Oh,
that be
you
the
gotta you
anger?
gotta remember,
Could it
data
be?
centers are dropping like flies in the Middle East, and we don't know
That's
what. I
true.
mean, you got to remember everything is worldwide. It's not like you get uploaded to a data center like right around the corner. You get uploaded to a data center, get rolled through a data center that houses the servers of the company that you're going through.
That's true. Sorry, these
You know.
glasses are bothering me. Um, that's interesting. I didn't think about that. So yeah, they have bombed a whole lot of data and technology over there. So let me ask you a question. Maybe you know the answer to this. We know that this merger with between I guess Paramount and Warner Brothers, which would impact CNN, is sort of looming. And I believe it's been approved, but
Yes.
I think it's being held up because of this war. Because Ellison, from what I heard, and I don't know, maybe you can confirm this for me, Ellison was getting financial backing from countries like Abu Dhabi and the Emirates were financially backing him, and now they have to spend money to do repairs for all the damage that's being caused by the war. So
It's 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 not
is it being
that.
held up?
No, but it's not that they have to do repair the damage. Most of the damage was to U.S. bases. It's not like they're paying for that,
I
right? What they're doing. See, what people don't understand is this goes back to the petrodollar.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
the Saudis, the Emirate, right? They launder our money. Okay. If everybody's paying with the dollars and they're giving them dollars, those dollars have to be put back into circulation somehow. Okay. So they take their dollars and they invest in the United States. They have huge slush funds because they're holding US dollars. Well, they have to do something with them. So they give them back to businessmen in the United States as part of deals, like, Ellison and various other ones that they do. They do that all the time. Jared Kushner went over there and got a large amount of money. But now that this war is going, I mean, Saudi Arabia was in freaking China this week. They're making a deal.
Yes.
They're making a deal for what do they want to call it,
The
the
petrol
petro one.
won. The petrol
Yeah,
won.
the
Yes.
petro one. Okay, so like what people have failed to understand is the dollar is done. Okay, the dollar is done. Okay, everybody's going to start moving away from the dollar now. Nobody has faith in the United States anymore, right? As the petrodollar. Good job, MAGA. That's what you did. You wanted us to become isolationist. You now sunk us.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you it goes back to the hunt for Red October again, right? Like I know I gave this one the last time. I'm going to give it again. Everybody remember the end of the hunt for Red October where the Russian sub fires the missiles. He takes off all his safeties. He fires the missiles, right? And then the U.S. Dallas comes in, intercepts them, and then diverts the missiles back toward the Russian sub, and then kills the Russian sub. And right before that happens, the
The
chief,
Russian
whatever
crew.
they call it, one of the Russian crew members says to the captain of the Russian, he goes, "You killed us.
You just killed us. Yep.
You just
Yeah.
killed us, MAGA. You just killed us. That's what you did. Congratulations, America first. You fucked us, right? You put America last. You put every country before America, and you put Donald Trump before America. Good for you."
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a cult. That isn't nationalism. That's a cult.
Yeah. That's the reason why we say it. Yeah. And just to give you an update, the national debt hasn't moved much. It kind of goes up and down, but I'll share this just to give you guys an update of what it
Where are
is.
we?
Yeah, we try to do this every week. There it is. 38 trillion 955 billion. It's just a hair under 39 billion, and that's still
39 trillion.
Yeah, trillion. I'm sorry. Yeah, with a T. My apologies. 39 trillion, just a hair under 39 trillion dollars, and that's 114,138 bucks for every single person living in America, whether they're citizens or not. So think about that.
Yep.
Y'all got that? And so if the dollar does completely tank, completely collapse, does that go up? Is that going to go up, or our interest goes up?
It has nothing to do with interest rates. It has to do with the value of the dollar. Dollar value will go down. Purchasing power will diminish.
So inflation goes up, as if
Yeah.
it wasn't high enough.
Well, you could be looking at hyperinflation.
I thought that's where we were now.
Or you could be looking at a devaluation of the currency, which would even be worse. So all the gains that people have made with salaries and stuff like that and wages will be gone like that. I think it's already going. I mean, you can already see it at the pump and in the grocery store and everywhere else. I mean, if goods cost you more, that means less disposable income.
Right. And now we're dealing with Trump decided to blockade the blockade.
No, we didn't. 20 ships went through. 20 ships went through today. In 24 hours since the blockade started, 20 ships have gone through.
China
that was actually more ships that actually went through when we didn't have the blockade.
I gotta tell you, it's really laughable. It's really laughable.
Right. But the Houthis closed the other strait or whatever. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of there's just a lot of hurt. I think it was one of Trump's top economic advisors said that he could that maybe since Iran did economic terrorism, maybe the United States should do economic terrorism.
Isn't that what you're doing to us? You're doing that to the rest of the world. Hello.
what is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people? Like, I don't understand who talks like this, right? On a national stage, you are supposed to be the world leaders, right? The United States took the lead, the presidency of the G20. Okay, and immediately they got rid of income inequality, right? Like now it's just taking over oil and gas, right? Like it's literally just become an imperialist mantra
Yes.
of we're going to take over oil and gas. Everything's about the billionaires. Fuck everybody, and getting rid of environmental regulation.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was interesting. I saw a clip. He was, I think it was Midas, played a clip. Trump was on the phone with Maria Bartiromo, and she asked him that could we see prices come down, before the midterms? And his answer was hilarious. The answer was, we could see them go down, or they could stay the same, or they could go up a little bit. It's like, it's like
they're going to go up. Listen, everything is going up. There is no way that prices are coming down. I mean, we are literally staring at like almost $5 a gallon,
yeah,
in some parts of this country, right? We are staring at that. For diesel, we are staring at almost $10 a
6.
gallon.
Yeah,
No, 10.
you think
We're
it's gonna?
staring in the face. It's up to $10 a gallon, right? And it could go higher because these people have no idea what they're doing. This is what happens when you hire incompetent people. Imagine working at a job, and everybody can imagine this, right? I want you to imagine you're in your place of employment. Now, Denise doesn't have this problem because she's a sole proprietor, so she doesn't actually have employees, right? Unless she wants to count Marty, but I wouldn't put Marty into this, right? But I'm just saying, imagine you had an employee, okay, who just couldn't cut it. Couldn't cut it, right? Couldn't do the job. Maybe you need to go back a little bit when you were a paralegal, Denise, and working at a law firm. But
Mm-hmm. Oh, I
just
know.
imagine if you had pick somebody and say, this is the worst employee I ever had. Not that they're bad at their job, they're just terrible as being an employee, right? Like
Right.
they can't get anything right, okay? And everything they touch ends up meaning more work for you, okay?
Right.
Imagine this happening in your workplace, okay? You have now elected that man as head of our country, okay?
Yes.
Everything he touches, it
It
turns into a
dies.
freaking disaster. It dies. I mean, look at every company. Every company the man has touched has gone bankrupt. Everything the man touches turns to crap. And now you've given him the keys to the White House, and now it's turned to crap. Now everything is
Literally,
turned to crap. Literally, literally, the White House
it's a
is
pile of crap.
demolished. It's half demolished now. Like, I
It's,
mean, at some point, a rational person says, this guy ain't working out. We need to move on.
yeah.
Right? It's not working out with this guy. We need somebody else in this job.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And the Democrats can't agree on filing articles of impeachment. They're like 50-50. It's like, okay, yes, you're probably not going to get the conviction, but you want to put it on record.
No, get the convict. Listen, here's the problem, and here's
Well, the Republicans
li-
aren't going to do it. They're too
as, as
feckless.
as much as everybody hates Trump, okay? It's the choices between Trump and JD Vance. JD Vance killed the fucking Pope. All right. I
He,
mean,
ki-
like
he killed the
everywhere the guy,
negotiating deal for the
everywhere the
war.
guy goes, like I mean, you think everything Trump touches turns to crap. I mean, JD Vance is like literally like it's like Trump sits there and stabs it a few times until it's on its deathbed. Then they send in JD Vance just to make sure it's dead for good. It's like, oh my God. When you have that kind of trend, what are you looking at? I mean, it's like all you're doing is saying, okay, JD Vance, give us our death blow. Stick a fork in us. We're dead. You
Yeah,
know,
right. Oh my God.
I,
Oh,
I, I got nothing. I got nothing. I mean, these people are fucking
oh, go
dumb
ahead.
and stupid.
Oh man. Well, wow. We've completed our hour here, folks. Um, do you have any final words?
No, one of the candidates I followed had gotten arrested today. And so I just got a text saying I got arrested, but I didn't know who it was from. And I was like, "Oh my God, he just got arrested!" But apparently, it was just she.
Oh,
She
it's an
was
ad.
yeah, no, she was at a protest today, um, and they ended up and APAC had her arrested. So Daraliza Avila Chevalier,
Wow.
she's running in New York, in the 13th district. She's running in New York 13, and she got
And
arrested.
she got just for protesting.
Yeah.
There we are. Yeah, that's you can't. No speech. Can't say bad things about APAC. Can't say can't be pro Palestine or it's not a matter of being pro Palestine or not pro Palestine. It's about being in support of not having a genocide, like ending the genocide. Like that's not a terrible position to be in, right? Appreciate wanting to protect innocent people, particularly children that are being murdered. That's not a terrible position to
Well, the
be.
question the question we all need to ask ourselves is are is it about people, or is it about our state? You know, I mean, I'm one of those people. How a state treats its people, or any people, right, is a sign of the values of the people of that state. You
Yes.
know, and I question every day when I see the concentration camps all throughout the United States. I have to ask. I say, what kind of people are we that we would even allow this?
Yeah, and there was one
You
thing
know?
that I wanted to mention about that, is Lakia. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. Lakia Cordia. She's a Palestinian American. Her mother's American. Her father's Palestinian, and she was arrested a year ago. She was a college student, and
Yeah.
she was arrested for protesting against the war in Gaza, and she was held at a detention facility in Texas for a year, and nobody could give her a reason as to why they were holding her. Obviously, they were holding her because she was Palestinian, and they were holding her because she protested the war, and that I mean, that goes against 100% against the Constitution. You can't be jailed for your speech, but apparently now you can be.
Well, that's sort of where we are. Is we're not a country of laws anymore.
So
We
I
keep
want to just
talking
say,
about our
yeah,
constitution, but we're not a country of laws anymore. We're just
and
not.
that's, well, I'm still going to say everything that we have said, whether you agree or disagree with our opinions, they are our First Amendment right to say them. And so we are invoking our First Amendment. That's it. Got to fight for it, and we are entitled to our opinion, and as are you. All right. I think
And if you don't
on
like our opinion, come on, come on, send us questions, participate in our chat. We're happy to have these conversations with anybody.
yeah, yeah, embrace that right
Yep.
to speak. All right. So we're gonna cut out. We will be dropping more content. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think, and we will see you soon. Thanks so much for joining us, folks. Be safe.
Peace out.